because in order to make it to the highest of levels, you kind of have to have this singular focus, this 100% belief, almost rejecting the plan B.
What does it take to be a pro athlete? Well, that is part of the formula. It's all in, total self-belief and focus to do what most can't. But then what happens when the one thing you've committed your entire life to is over? An existence outside of the game can be a harsh reality.
It's a real identity check, and for me, I had a real challenge with my transition. I didn't know who I was. I was shunning the athletic version of myself, thinking I was so much more than, I am more than an athlete, but I was not embracing that athlete part of myself, and ultimately, it was a big challenge for myself. So it's very, very difficult.
The reality is, you can't take your eye off the ball, and you're getting paid a lot of money for a very short time to dominate in that, that exact lane. So, finishing up and transitioning, it's difficult for, I would say, everybody.
Working my way up through college, through the NFL, winning Super Bowls, things like that, and then, now having to pivot and turn it into a whole different direction. It's a humbling experience.
Life after football is quite the transition due to the fact that you have everything planned from you. From the time that you wake up to the time that you fall asleep to the next day, for the next 6 months, my life is planned. Now that I'm done with football, I got to create my own schedule. Don't know how to do it. Figure out what I'm gonna do to be able to bring more income, because again, those checks are not there anymore.
To be honest, the transition, started off a little challenging for me, but just, with my network and being from, going to the University of Texas and being able to lean in my relationships there has definitely helped me succeed off the field.
Look, we've heard the stories of former pro athletes who made millions that are now broke. So where's the off-ramp from playing sports to be in the normal working world? This is where PAC comes in. The pro athletes community was formed a few years ago to help former athletes figure out what's next. Recently, they were in Austin hosting a huge group of guys to teach, mentor, and expose them to different folks who've been successful in the business world. It's really a space for all those adjusting to a new reality to see what others in their position are doing.
If you're a guy who's rocking and rolling in your space, we want to help you level up. If you're a guy who maybe needs some direction or some exposure or experience, we want to help provide that for you, right? And everything in between.
The safe space that they've created to allow guys to be able to communicate vulnerably, authentically, is a very, very healing environment. And to see the guys being able to ask questions unapologetically, to have a lot of experts come in and pour themselves into us, it's just remarkable.
Got a lot of interesting stories from those guys and what they know now compared to what they wish they knew when their career started. I think that's something a lot of us can relate to. All right, winding down for this week, we got another big show